The hippopotamus is one of the strangest, rarest, and most extraordinary animals in the animal kingdom. Although we often associate it with something clumsy or lazy due to its robust appearance, it hides many fascinating surprises. Here's a look at the most curious things about this impressive animal. 1. It doesn't swim, but lives in the water. Although it spends most of its life in rivers and lakes, the hippopotamus can't swim. Instead of floating or stroking, it walks or propels itself along the bottom of the water. They can stay submerged for up to 5 minutes, then automatically come up to breathe even while sleeping. 2. Red sweat that looks like blood. The hippopotamus secretes a thick, reddish fluid that looks like blood, but is actually an antibacterial fluid and natural sunscreen. This bloody sweat helps protect their sensitive skin from the sun and infections. 3. Their tusks are lethal weapons. Despite their herbivorous diet, their teeth can be deadly. The lower tusks can measure more than 50 centimeters and sharpen with use. They are used for fighting, not eating, and males may engage in deadly confrontations for control of territory. Brain 4. Extremely territorial and aggressive. Contrary to their calm appearance, the hippopotamus is one of the most dangerous animals in Africa. They are very aggressive, especially in the water, and do not hesitate to attack crocodiles, lions, or even human boats. Crescent Moon 5. They graze at night, walk for miles. They spend the day in the water, but at night they walk up to 10 kilometers in search of grass, their main food. Despite their enormous size, they can weigh more than 3,000 kilograms. They can run faster than a human for brief moments. Speaking Head 6. Underwater communication. Hippos have the ability to make sounds both underwater and in the water at the same time, and they communicate with grunts, snorts, and squeals that can travel through both air and water, a very rare ability in mammals. 7. Their closest relative is the whale. Surprisingly, the hippopotamus's closest living relative is the whale. They share a common ancestor and are part of the artiodactyl cetacean group, an evolutionary branch that unites them, despite their current differences. Here's a fantastic story about a very special hippopotamus, the hippopotamus who guarded the moon. Long, long ago, when the earth was still young and the skies were filled with magic, there lived deep in the great celestial river a bright-eyed hippopotamus named Umbu. But Umbu wasn't just any hippopotamus, he was the guardian of the moon. Every night, as the sun set, Umbu emerged from the starry river and, with tremendous strength, pushed the moon into the sky with his enormous snout. He did this so carefully that the moon never broke, even though it was made of silver crystal. But one day, Silence, a formless creature that lived in the cracks of time, began to grow. He was jealous of the moon's brilliance and wanted to devour it so that the night would be his alone. So he wove a shadow as thick as tar and cast it across the sky. The frightened moon hid behind the mountains on the horizon. Without its light, children's dreams stopped flying, owls stopped singing, and the tides remained still. Umbu, his heart roaring like a storm, decided to reclaim the moon. He dived into the river beyond the world, where the turtle of time lived, a creature as old as the universe. He asked for its help, and it gave him a shining scale and said, "With this, you will be able to cross the shadow without losing your light." Umbu covered himself with the scale and trotted across the sky as only a magical hippopotamus can, slow, powerful, unstoppable. He charged at silence, which tried to envelop him with whispers and emptiness. But Umbu's heart beat like a war drum. With one last leap, which still resonates in the echoes of some nights, he rescued the moon from its dark clutches and raised it back to the sky. From then on, every time you see the moon shining especially round and large, remember that Umbu still nudges it with his enormous snout, guarding it from the silence, so that darkness never again reigns completely. Here's the second part of the story. Umbu and the Garden of Fallen Moons. After saving the Moon of Silence, Umbu became a legend. But the heavens hold many secrets, and not all of them are ready to be saved. One night, as Umbu rested in the still waters of the great celestial river, he noticed a new light on the horizon. It wasn't the moon, but a smaller, trembling one, like a candle about to go out. It was a fallen moon. Intrigued, Umbu swam beyond the known firmament, to a corner of the universe that not even comets dared to cross. There he discovered something astonishing: the Garden of Fallen Moons, a forgotten place where ancient moons slept among silver roots and obsidian trees. Some were broken, others wept silently. All had been forgotten. "Who cares for you?" Umbwest. A small, trembling moon answered him. "No one. The garden is where we come when the world no longer looks upon us. We are the moons of destroyed worlds, of extinct civilizations, of unremembered dreams." Umbu's heart sank. He knew what it was like to be invisible. Before he was a guardian, he too was just another hippopotamus under the sun, ignored and slow. Then he decided to do something not even the gods had dreamed of. Umbu dived into the center of the garden and roared with the power of all the heavens. He called upon the stars, the solar winds, the ancient auroras. He asked them for one thing: "Give me your light. I want to revive these moons." The stars hesitated, but they knew that Umbu was the only one who loved the night not for what it hides, but for what it reveals. And so, with each beat of his immense heart, a moon rose from the garden. First one, then another, until dozens of tiny new moons floated back into the sky. Since then, some nights the sky seems to have more than one moon. It's not your imagination. It's the reborn moons of Umbu, re-illuminating forgotten dreams, untold tales, and the hopes that slumber in the depths of the soul. And Umbu, the hippopotamus who no longer merely pushes the moon, is now the gardener of the night, the one who ensures that no true light is ever extinguished. There's a third part, and if you want to listen to it, I'll tell you about it here. Here it is, the third part of the story of Umbu, the celestial hippopotamus. Umbu and the mirror of starless nights. The sky was more alive than ever. The reborn moons danced among the constellations, and Earth's dreams soared high again. But an ancient whisper began to sweep across the edges of the universe, like an icy breeze no one could see. Something was missing. One night, as Umbu watched his garden from high on a cloud, one of the younger moons suddenly fell, as if torn from the sky. It didn't break. It just disappeared. Alarmed, Umbu descended to Earth for the first time in centuries. There, among the sleeping fields and the rivers reflecting the firmament, he saw something impossible. A lake so dark it didn't reflect the stars. Not even the moon. "This is the mirror of starless nights," whispered an old owl perched in a withered tree. "A crack in the sky that has begun to devour the light. It was born of fear, of forgetting, of all the humans who no longer look up." Umbu approached the lake. His reflection was gone. Only a black stain, a void shaped like nothingness. He understood then that the greatest enemy was not silence, nor shadow, nor time. It was oblivion. Oblivion had woven the mirror to steal the light from all that was not remembered. One by one, the fallen moons were being swallowed, and soon the mother moon would disappear as well. Umbu decided to act. With his enormous body, he dove into the mirror, swimming toward the heart of the void. There was no form, no sound, no color. Only a whispering voice. "Everything that is not remembered belongs to me. And you, old guardian, hardly anyone remembers you anymore." But Umbu, from the depths of his soul, roared a forgotten name, his own. And as he spoke it, he ignited within himself a light older than the stars, the memory of being loved by the night. That light could not be devoured. The mirror burst into 1,000 reflections that flew to the sky like stellar fireflies. Each one became a new star, and since then, the darkest nights are filled with those bright points once forgotten. Umbu returned to the sky older, wiser. And though many do not know his name, every time someone looks at the sky and marvels, a spark burns brighter, and oblivion recedes.
En el río duerme el rey, con bigotes y sin ley. Gordo, noble, fuerte está, bajo el agua va a caminar. No nada pero se desliza, como un pez sin prisa. Ese bicho colosal es un mito tropical. Hipopótamo, mi hermano, tan raro como temprano, sudor que arde como el sol, colmillos que rugen rock and roll, corre más que yo, qué horror, y gruñe con bajo interior. Oh, hipopótamo, rey del charco y del tambor. No come carne, pero sí puede partir un tronco en mil. De noche sale a pasear, camina y no deja de masticar. 10 kilómetros con paz, y la luna lo sigue detrás. El agua vibra al escuchar su canto submarinal. Hipopótamo, mi hermano, tan raro como temprano, sudor que brilla como miel. Su pariente es una ballena en papel, corre más que yo, qué honor, y vila su territorio sin temor. Hipopótamo, criatura de otro color. Dicen que gruñe en dos mundos, aire y agua como segundos. Es guardián, es leyenda, un secreto que la jungla encomienda. Hipopótamo, mi hermano, más fantástico no hay humano. Su sudor lo protege del mal, su linaje es casi celestial. Corre, canta y si te ve, mejor que no lo hagas enojar. Oh, oh, hipopótamo, rey salvaje sin rival.